Now I'm finally free. Don't have to carry no more weight up on my shoulder. Now I'm finally free. Finally. Oh yeah. So many things in life I had to give up on. But my God didn't give up on me. Yes, God family, can everybody hear me? Hold on. Gave me another chance. Hey. I was blind, but now I see. Oh yeah. Can everybody hear me? This is a mic check. Can everybody hear me? Yes, God. Okay. You can hear me. Yes, 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 God. All right. So I have a few moments. Alexa, turn it off. Get my little shoulder out. I have a few moments before I jump into our 12 o'clock call in the Quantum Prayer Circle, but I wanted to talk about this because it popped in my mind and I was like, I need to share this. Yes, God. Thank you for liking the live. Yes, 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 God. Commitment issues. Okay. What are we committed to? All right. What are we committed to? Are we committed to the fact that we have bad luck? Are we committed to the fact that this is just how I am and that's just how my health is because that it runs in my family? What are the things that we are committed to? We have to make a conscious, intentional decision to be committed to living a life that is always working out for us, that always has miracles around the corner, that always has prosperity finding us, that is using us as a vessel for God. And so when we have to have the same commitment to shifting our identity to the best versions of ourselves, the same way we have been committed to our old story. Because we have a lot of commitment around negative stories about ourselves, around self-deprecation, around I'm broke, I'm hood, I'm this, I'm that, right? We have a commitment to our narrative about who we are. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is where I came from. This is what I'm about. This is just my personality. I'm just stubborn. I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm this. I'm a Pisces, so I'm that. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm this. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm that, right? We have all these commitments to all of these beliefs about ourselves. Yes, God. Thank you, yes, Lioness, for coming in with that trigger finger ready. She's tapping. Thank you. Somebody over on Instagram is tap, 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 tickety, tap, tapping. Yes, God. So we have to really be willing to look at what is it that we are committed to, because we all have this story, this narrative about what we're committed to. Well, I don't play this and I don't allow that and I don't do that. And that's just not something I do. And that's all, this and that, right? We got all this lip service about being committed to who it is that we are. And we have to be willing to be committed to a different version of ourselves, right? We have to be willing to commit to the version of ourselves that God sees. Okay? Because God doesn't see our experiences as our identity. God doesn't see our emotions as our identity. God does not see our relationship status as our identity. God does not see our income as our identity. God does not see our social economic status as our identity. Okay? So instead of being committed to our limitations, let's start to commit to the version and the vision that God has for us. Because God is limitless. And because we know that we have God living inside of us, we know that our identity is also limitless. So what is it that you're committed to? Okay. I'm just a cigarette smoker. I've been smoking forever. I'm just a pothead. I've been smoking forever. I just like to have a drink every now and then. That's just who I am. I like to, I just complain sometimes. That's who I am. So being clear about what is it that you have been committed to. Are you committed to a version of yourself? Are you committed to viewing yourself in a way that is empowering to you? Or is there space and flexibility? All right. Just like We have programmed ourselves. We have all programmed ourselves, even though we may not have realized it. We have been programming ourselves by what we have been telling ourselves about ourselves. It's not so much what we're telling other people about ourselves, it's what we're telling our own selves about ourselves. Well, I'm big bone. I just always been big bone, so I'm just going to be big. Well, I just like to eat, so that's just who I am. Well, high blood pressure runs in my family, so that's just, well, this runs in my family, that runs in my family. All of these declarations about our identity. We have to be willing to be declaring something new. We have to be willing to commit to something new. Thank you, Yes Lioness, for continuing to tap that live. Tap, 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 tickety, tap, tap. Yes, God. All right. So so understanding that you have always been whoever it is that you are committed to in terms of how you view yourself. Thank you for tapping that live, Instagram. Whoever you are committed to viewing yourself as, it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. All right. So if you commit yourself to, I've just always had a lot of anger issues. That's just who I am. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always had anger issues. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always done this. Ever since. Okay. But the beautiful, incredible, miraculous gift is that we all have a will to choose something different. We all have the God-given agency and autonomy to decide, you know what? I am going to let go of my ego. I'm going to let go of the story. I'm going to let go of making other people responsible for the condition that I am in. My ex did this. My ex did that. This person did this. This person, my parents, my mother did this. My dad was this. Okay. We have all of these projections about other people. And if they had done this or they hadn't done that, then we would have been. But the thing is that we don't have to allow those things to hold us in bondage. We have a choice as adults to decide. I am not responsible. I am not at fault for my trauma, but I am responsible for who I'm showing up as. And if we never process our trauma, we never deal with it, we will continue to perpetuate it. Okay. It will be a cycle that continues and continues. We have to make a concerted effort and intention to, first of all, be aware of the cycle that continues to repeat unless it is identified and unless it is intentionally shifted. Okay. I've always been the person that nobody paid attention to. I've always been the black sheep. I've always been this. I've always been. First of all, if you're using words like always and never, typically whatever is following behind those are limiting beliefs. The words always and never are typically placed before a limiting belief. Now, you can flip that and say, good news is always coming to me. I'm always winning. I'm always the top pick. I'm always on top. I'm always receiving good news. Okay. So when we're using those words, we want to be very mindful of what is coming after them. Because whatever it is that is coming after those words, the way that we are perceiving ourselves, the beliefs and the ideas that we are committed to about ourselves, those things are true. So if I say I've always been awkward, I've always been shy, I've always been this, I've always been that, is that truly who it is that you're desiring to be? Is that truly who God has called you to be? So being clear about, am I committed to something that that is my divine highest expression? Okay. Being willing to call that into question and being willing to be aware of that. Yes, God. Also, the inner algorithm, we touched on this morning, and I want to touch on it really quick. I have about 5 more minutes because we are doing our daily call inside the Quantum Prayer Circle. Look, Lisa's in there already, 5 minutes early. Yes, God. But the inner algorithm, okay, just like the algorithm, this came up because I did go live also this morning already. Just like whatever content we interact with online, right? Whatever content we see come across our feed and we're engaging with it, we're liking it, we're sharing it, we're commenting on it, right? That is what we see more of, right? We all know that, right? And also just to know, there is a way to reset your algorithm. If you go into your settings on Instagram, I know for sure you can actually reset your algorithm and train it. You have to train your algorithm, okay? We have that same power in our life. Thank you, Yes Lioness. I really appreciate you. You almost got me at 2K likes. We have an inner algorithm. Okay. And whatever it is that we are focusing on, that we are being committed to giving our attention to, committed to feeling some type of emotions about, we are going to continue to see that. So if our inner algorithm is focused on complaining, is focused on not enough, is focused on too early, is focused on too late, is focused on this or that, right? Then what happens is we continue to see more of that. Okay, we continue to see more of that. And so we have to be mindful about what that what is our inner algorithm? What is the self-concept? Truth over on TikTok. If you were actually a scholar and you actually studied Jesus Christ, everything that I'm saying is the same things that Jesus was saying in the Bible. I suggest you get a red letter Bible and take a look and actually study Christ as an identity versus a dogma versus an oppressive concept. Yes, God. Greetings from Snowy Lake Tahoe. Yes, God. Thank you for going live. Bless up and yes, God. Yes. So being willing to understand, first of all, be aware that I have an inner algorithm. Whatever I am focusing on, whatever I'm giving my attention to, whatever I am giving my energy to, that is multiplying. Just like Jesus multiplied the fish and the bread, right? Because that was Jesus's intention, was, hey, you know what, this doesn't look like enough in the physical circumstance, but my intention is to multiply this. And because that was the intention, that was the command that was made, that was what happened. It's the same thing with everything else in our life. And one of the hacks that we can use to get more of what we desire is to be grateful for what we have now. Instead of complaining about what you don't have, instead of complaining about where you wish you were, instead of complaining about this or that, begin to be grateful so you can receive more. Hi, Lisa. I saw you join. I'm about to jump on the Zoom in just a moment. It's very important to be inside of proximity to the algorithm that you desire. Every single thing in this life is an algorithm. Okay. My inner algorithm is totally aligned with what you say. Yes, yes, Lioness. I love your name too. Yes, God. So, what is your inner algorithm? What are you giving your time, energy, and attention to on a daily basis? Okay. Whatever you are giving your time, energy, and attention to most on a daily basis is what you will continue to see more and more expressed and amplified in your life. So be grateful for what you have, okay? Be thankful, be appreciative, be loving, be kind, be compassionate, be forgiving, because those are the type of things we want to see, right? Be generous. Be gracious, okay? Have grace for people. Have compassion for people. Have boundaries with people, right? Be clear with people. Have integrity with people. Do what you say you're going to do, because this is what you want to experience from others, right? You have to first smile in the mirror before you're going to see the mirror smile back at you. You can't be mad at other people for not doing what they say they're going to do. You can't be mad at the government and all of these other entities for being out of alignment and out of integrity without first looking at yourself. This is also scripturally based, okay? You can't look at the what is it? Something about the plank in the eye. I don't remember, y'all. I'm amped right now. Okay. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in for just a few moments. I do have to jump on the live call inside the Quantum Prayer Circle. Would love to have you inside of the Quantum Prayer Circle. Would love to see you at the retreat in Bali. Would love to see you next weekend at the Right Place, Right Time Masterclass, which is offered. Of course, it's available to everyone who is inside of the Quantum Prayer Circle. I'm not sure who's requesting to be in my live, but no. And yes, God. All right. So I love you all. I trust that you're going to have a prosperous, amazing, wonderful, abundant, peaceful day full of gratitude, filled with looking around and being thankful for all the things you had, including especially yourself, not harming yourself, not harming yourself with harmful thoughts, with harmful substances, with harmful food, with harmful conversations, with harmful ideas. Yes, God. And I will talk to everybody soon. Peace.